your opinion and place your calling. WB. Be yourself, see yourself, this is a show of people. Believe our hopes for to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will feel happen like God blue skies. I love to make people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion and place your calling. WB. Get up, make every day count. Don't waste it, people. Do your part, play your role, get where you need to. You can tune in from work or in your vehicle. If you got a problem, pick up the phone. Why wait till the time calling? It's a show with no matter even if you're at home. Just call in. WB. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving.
Morning and welcome to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes Talk Show here in sweet Southside Belize City on a chilly
See yourself, this is a show of people. Believe our hopes for to needless reason. Nobody feel left out, is the vibe we dealing. Let's find a solution. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Love, respect, unselfishness and cooperation. That's how we need to build a strong nation. We are the people to make the changes. We are the changes, WB. And all the things that will feel happen like God blue skies. I love to make people get victimized. Let's work together for better. We got to unite. Belize, yeah. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put their time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice our opinion.
YaYa Marin Coleman sitting in for Brother Noor Mohammed for this morning, Thursday, January 22nd, 2025. Cool morning, that Belize. Nothing like what I want Florida, Alabama to deal with. And yes, it's that time of the morning for us to have our community time, community reasoning, conversations. I know a lot of people that take lick right now because you know, it's chilly, may not be living in adequate homes, not have the bedding, not have warm clothes. I feel for this morning. But the rest of we you know, have the warm clothes. Some might enjoy the weather, some not. I hope to try to get something warm on the stomach this morning at least. For get the little chill off, I know. So, I know the usual lineup for Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. We usually start off with the weather forecast from the National Meteorological Service of Belize, and this morning the forecaster is Francisca Wellington, and then we're going in our first news brief for the morning prepared by XTV Newsroom under the directorship of our dynamic sister Maricela Maya. Awesome team too, not only she's just the director. So let's see how long the school front on the way.
A gusty northwesterly airflow is affecting the weather and will support mostly cloudy skies today and tonight. A few showers or periods of rain will affect mainly coastal areas this morning and tonight and inland areas this afternoon. In the outlook for Friday and Friday night, showers and rain will increase and affect most areas of the country. Winds today will blow from the west and northwest at 10 to 20 knots with occasional higher gusts. Moderate seas will become rough at times and a small craft caution remains in effect. High tides 5:57 this morning and another at 4:38 this evening. Low tides follow at 10:21 this morning and 12:58 tomorrow morning. Temperatures this afternoon will peak at 68 Fahrenheit up in the Maya Mountains, 72 along the coast, and 76 inland. The moon will set at 12:34 this afternoon, and sunset is at 5:43 this evening. In the sargassum forecast, there is a small chance that a few sargassum mats could affect coastal destinations. However, impacts are expected to remain minimal. And that's the latest from the Belize Weather Bureau. Do have a pleasant day.
The first private radio in Belize, 1989. Creme FM presents the news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports. And now, the news.
Accused that Port back in December 2023, Prime Minister John Brisenia shared that moves are happening in the background to work out an investment deal so that the cargo facility can be upgraded and a cruise port added. He expects that the upgrade and expansion should have been completed by the end of another political term. Brisenia shared that months ago, a proposal regarding PBL was taken to Cabinet for approval.
Is to do a cruise and container port, and B, to be able to just the container port. And we saw the options, and Cabinet felt that it's in the best interest to do both. And so we are working on a master plan to do that. The previous owners were working on a master plan, but of course, if they know they want to charge us an exorbitant amount of money if we want to take over that plan that they were working on. So it's best we're going to do our own. It's pushing us back a few months. There have been a number of companies that have expressed interest. MSC has expressed interest, Carnival has expressed interest, and other investors have expressed interest, but we're not going to do anything until we have, say, this is the plan, okay, who are they going to be the strategic investors? There are many people that come in and said, well, we would be interested, but we don't just want to jump at it, we need to have a plan, and then we're going to move forward. So I do believe that by the end of the next government, we should have a cruise port and a modern container port.
So does that mean State Bank is there?
That's not for me to decide.
But I'm saying that there's no sense in having two mega cruise ports in the Belize district within miles of each other.
But we all knew that State Bank was short-term or to medium-term investment. Why? Because A, the berthing facilities cannot take the big ships, and B, probably even more important, these cruise ships, they want to berth on land. They don't want to be, the tendering is a big issue. And so we knew that was a temporary fix, and then eventually we have to build somewhere on the near shore.
Last week, prompting high officials from the Ministry of Agriculture to visit the affected areas. This brings our cases to 5. Yesterday, Prime Minister John Brisenia expressed his gratitude that a new protocol allows Belize to continue exporting cattle formerly to Mexico despite the new cases.
It is expected, it's expected. It's not something, we never bring the screwworm. It's a stupid mistake that was done in Panama when they released the insects that become, yes, it was not sterile, the ones that they released in error several years ago in Panama, and that's then started progressively coming to us. And I believe that they were not. I don't think they put enough effort to stop it back then, which could have, but now it's here. But we're trying our level best to control it as best as we possibly can. What's important is that we've already worked out a protocol with the Mexicans on how to export our cattle, because this is not something that, how could I put it, like spread because it affects the meat in the sense that we get kind of illness. What happens in this case is that if you see the animal with the screwworm, you cure it. And once you do 5 days later, 6 days later, it's a healthy animal. You can take it. So the plan is that we have a corral area where we we inspect the animals in Belize, and then it's gone over to Mexico, to the Mexican side, and they inspect it. If they see any animal with any signs of screwworm, then they send it back to Belize and we cure it. And 5-6 days later, we could send it back. That's the very same protocol that they've worked with the United States.
Returns from businesses are submitted every 15th of the month. And in this case, it was done on the 16th due to the George Price holiday. However, Wednesday morning, the Prime Minister told the media he had not yet learned just how much revenue the government lost from the 2 GST-free weekends in December 2024. He insists that there were benefits from the economic activity generated on those days.
I'm not getting numbers, but I believe that we did exceedingly well because, why do I say that? Because whilst we give up the GST for those 2 weekends, people did not go to Chatham. People stayed here to buy, one. Secondly, it alerted us as to some of the people that don't really pay the right GST, so we've been going after them and working on it. And thirdly, I think it gave us a sense of good feeling during the Christmas season. And so it was successful beyond what we expected. And we do believe that it is something that we're going to be doing in December this year.
But were you trying to buy off the electorate?
No, it has nothing to do.
Yes, I'm just saying.
Mr. Cynical, it has nothing to do with the elections. It's simply something that we believe its time has come. We could not have done it earlier because we were just trying to recover and to rebuild and to regain the confidence of our citizens and of the private sector. So now we felt when that idea came up, we said, you know, it's not a bad idea, it's a good idea, and to be able to build on it. So if it was just election, where I may do it last year, and I may do it this year. But this is something that we believe we should do every year.
Are you afraid you would have lost more than you can afford?
Not really, because we felt that the economic movement, the movement of what it would generate. Remember, in economics, there's this thing that for every dollar you spend, that dollar moves around 4 to 5 times. So the generator of that dollar spending in Belize, we would be able to get it back with taxes in other areas.
Was asked if it was the government's intention to increase the hotel tax to offset the losses from the GST-free days and also the raising of the pay threshold for income tax.
Well, I do believe that the tourism industry needs to pay their fair share. We have invested tens of millions of dollars in the tourism industry, and we taxpayers have paid for it. When you put infrastructure development and the beach development and the marketing and just name it.
Right.
So now it's time now that this industry is being growing, and it's been growing fastest ever. We're the fastest growing region, Belize, the tourism in the region. And so now that we've done all of that investment, I think it's only fair for us now to be able to get back some of that money, and that we can then give the relief to the people that need most, and is the lower middle class. We want to build more middle class. So we've been saying it all along that we want to reduce or to eventually, if we could find a way to eliminate the PAYE or remove it and just keep it in the higher upper brackets, $50,000-$70,000, that would be ideal for me.
Senor was asked if campaign donors have been willing to assist his party for the upcoming elections. He answered in the affirmative, saying that their party has done well in government.
Any election costs money, and I think that Mr. Ashcroft said that tongue-in-cheek because we have not asked him for money and we'll not ask him for money. But our local financiers, they're helping us because we have been a good government. Our economy has grown tremendously. I think the last number, I think it was like over 20.5% up to 2023, 2024, not to the end of 2024. So we have tremendous growth, and all business people have benefited from the work that we have done. So I am hoping and expecting that they are going to provide some finances. It is expensive to run a campaign, despite the fact it doesn't matter about your position, but you have to put campaigners, you have to get t-shirts, you have so many things, the TV ads, all of these things that have to be done.
That brings us to the end of this morning's news brief. For the rest of the day, lock into XTV and Creme Radio. You could download the Creme Radio or the XTV Belize app. You could live stream at XTV Belize YouTube and XTV Belize Facebook. And immediately after this program at 9 o'clock, from 9 to 12, I think it is the mornings too. And you can get latest news, commentary, affirmation of the day, lots of laugh, community engagement. And then at 12:30, there's a full news package. At 3:15, there's a news brief. And at 5:15, there's a full news package on Creme Radio. On XTV at 6 o'clock in the evening is a full news package. And that's why I'm bringing the wrap for this portion of the morning segment. Stay tuned, we're going to take one quick break, come back, open up the phone lines, and that's what we time.
The first private radio in Belize since 1989. The news. Informative, accurate, current information, local, regional, and international news, weather and sports.
Welcome back to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes on this chilly Thursday morning. I want to tell me how to call the treat to know. The number is 280-5848. 280-5848. On a no say, we love one another calling. Because we not can't forgive no monologue or preach no ceremony. But if we're not calling, then we have to talk. Because, well, I want to talk, sure, right? So on a calling, 280-5848. At 7:30, we are having a guest. So on a calling, because we're going to have guest 7:30 by Zoom. So two things I want to look upon this morning. One being, last Sunday on Sunday Review, I produce and host the only news review talk show in Belize. I have a new co-host for 2025, revolutionary brother out of Trinidad and Tobago, Brother Ako Mutota. And one of my good troublemaker brother, who's been on WB before. He's Grenadian, living and working in the UK for decades. His name is Brother Gus John. And he wrote an article. I shall send the article to Christy so that when they have the conversation with Uno, Christy Krame show the article where Brother Gus John wrote. And it's long, but it's a really good article. Give thanks to Amandala, then produced the first part of it on the Amandala. And I don't know if they put the second half in the hard copy Amandala. But the name of the article where Brother Gus John wrote is Complicity in Criminality, the Rudderless Church. And the reason why I take it make talk, because I don't know if this has made the news in Belize, but it definitely should. Similar to how in the 80s and especially the 90s, there had a big scandal in the Roman Catholic Church as it related to abuse of males and females, boys and girls, vulnerable adults, of nuns and priests and people of the cloth, and ongoing litigation about it. There's been a similar scandal in the Anglican Church or in the Episcopal Church. Now, I don't know if that makes news that Belize, but it should. It definitely should make news that Belize. And so there's the scandal that because the scandal's so big that the Archbishop of Canterbury and head of the Church of England, his name is Justin Welby. This bus, thank you, Christy Flowers, Master Chief Operator. There's been allegations of abuse of young men who go to one holiday camp for boys at English public schools. The person who did the violation is called John Smith. He's an attorney. He's since transitioned. And an independent commission, the church hired an independent consultant. His name was Keith Macon, for doing a review of the allegations about these abuses. The thing's so big, and this is why I'm like, how come I don't hear nobody talk about this that Belize on the news? The thing's so big that the Archbishop of Canterbury and head of the Church of England, he is supposed to resign, he is supposed to retire January 2026 because of all the public pressure and the scandal. He resigned on the 6th of January 2025. Now, this is the head of Anglican churches worldwide, the Church of England worldwide. So what I want to know if the head of the Anglican Church that Belize make one announcement to the people that will go to in church and tell them what happened. Because this is the logical thing what will happen. That the Church of England sent out to all the churches around the world to say this is an issue. Because right now, based on our own doctrine or policies, we don't have nobody, we don't have somebody, the sitting for the Archbishop of Canterbury because that person had to resign. So I really want, if anybody that Anglican, go to Anglican church, is of the cloth for the Anglican church that Belize, call with 280-5848 and make we know if they tell you this. if you're not aware, because it happened all over the world. When it happened, when all this scandal bust the Belize, you never hear, at least not to my knowledge, but if I'm wrong, call me and tell me I'm wrong, and I'm the first person to say I'm wrong. I never hear no story of, no, this happened to girls and boys, young women, young men, vulnerable adults, vulnerable people. I never hear nothing bust the Belize where they had an allegation or one report was made of somebody being violated from the Roman Catholic Church, or somebody who attended the Roman Catholic churches had an allegation of being abused, whether it was sexually, physically, psychologically, emotionally, mentally, whatever it may be. Now, we know it happened because there are no saint there. And I asked my brother, Akko, if that had happened in Trinidad. Oh, and I asked brother Gus as well. And they said, so for their knowledge, there's no official complaint. But, you know, talking there in the community that maybe one young woman get pregnant for somebody and they either send the person, meaning the priest or the rector, the another diocese or another community or another country, or the young woman get sent away. And so we need to talk about anything. The abuse, and that's the word Brother Gush John they talk about, that you have predators who join the clergy or churches in some capacity where they have power and influence, because what happens a lot of the time is that people, everyday people, the wider population, feel like because them people, they're supposed to be, they say, representatives of the Creator based on European ideology of Creator. And so then trust them. And then take advantage of the trust. And then when in this case, for example, there would be allegations or suspicions, and then the person would, that individual report to, ought to do something about it. And that's why Justin Welby, the Archbishop of Canterbury and head of the Church of England worldwide, eventually had to resign, because he may know about it, but he never take it seriously and then do something about it. And then, so what happened is, then the person who did the violation, John Smith, attorney, gone to Zimbabwe and did the same thing that Zimbabwe they had a young man, African of course, and it drunk on for him watch. Now, the allegation is that, you know, there was abuse. And then, now, the young man drunk on for him watch. He then had the heart of brass, the face of brass, for then officiate the young man's funeral. And so this is the complicity of the church. And so that's why I feel like this newsworthy, that really, and I ask media workers, for go talk to whoever that the person responsible for the Anglican Church that believes. And ask them if they're aware of it, find out what the process for the Church of England communicate with the people all over the world, whether that's something good, whether that's something bad. And then once they get the information, what for then duty? Do they have a responsibility for go that in congregation and tell them what happened? Do they have a duty for call the media house and say, listen, this is an issue? Or important for we learn them processes. And remember now, under the people and save the people. So if I never know Brother Gush John and the people at the strengthen my links with people from the Caribbean were credible, known for work in the defense of African descendants racialized as black people. They are primarily the people who I deal with. Now I meet other people who may not be of African heritage. They could be indigenous people. Usually the people of color for sure. Majority of the people who I deal with. But you could also have European people. And then if I never build links with them people, then there's no way anybody could know everything what happened everywhere in the world. Because that's one of the complaints I get quite a bit from media workers. How you never know this? How do media never report this? How do media report for everything? I mean, I know as infants we have limitations with human capacity, equipment, vehicle. We have limitations. But that's why partnership is so essential. Like, you know, one of we strong partners, the PGTV, because they have one similar format to XTV, which is community oriented. So at the set of Belizean people, this is of interest to we. The number is 280-5848. And please no got me to talk. 280-5848. If anybody just joined me, you'll listen to XTV, Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes talk show, known as WB, live streaming on YouTube Belize and XTV Belize. Big up Harlan Wagner will make sure we get back to YouTube channel. I tell you, skills so critical, like having skills so absolutely critical. And then the next thing we want to talk about, I see it on news last night. I say, my goodness, I mean to say YUB Educational Foundation will have to activate with environmental justice arm again. Like we put in enough work, thanks to community support, community participation, but enough work as it relates to the former owner of the Port of Belize Limited, when that entity may want to expand the, may want to build one cruise port, may want to have one tourist village, and may want, upgrade the cargo area, the Port of Belize Limited, known as PBL, for approximately 400 million Belize dollars, 200 million US dollars. Here come, now I know I'm here one talking about maybe some Asian company or organization having one interest at the Port of Belize. And I remember at that time what the news story may say when maybe they may ask the Prime Minister. But now here come the Prime Minister saying that a proposal was submitted to Cabinet for approval. I said, hold up. How you get to approval when, I could say somebody submit one document to Cabinet for review, not for approval, for review, because the Cabinet no know if this one be something, or to my common sense, if this is something where they want to approve or not. So now not for approval, the developer might want approval, but I think when talking to the press, or even among Cabinet members, that proposals are for revision, for review. And the wording, for me, matter. And at the time when you get one paper for review, the community, Belizeans should be made aware of it. And if we need to consider approving it, before approval, we don't have to get some buy-in from the community, from Belizean people, because I'd say, here we go again. Majority of the people will live around the Port of Belize Limited and work at the Port of Belize Limited. They're working class people, they're everyday people. When they had the other proposal, the government of Belize had something to say, the environmental NGOs had something to say, the Port of Belize Limited had something to say, international organizations had something to say. Everybody had something to say, except the people that will live nearest to the port. And that our part, UEF activism, environmental justice activism got ignited, because the biggest part of the environment that human beings, I know Brother Nigel Martinez, the director of Belize Federation of Fishers, and Brother George Maivet, who that a consultant would often say, when you talk about sustainability, the anchor of sustainability are human beings, are people. But who to look out for the people of interest? Really, it should be the government of Belize. A general election is coming up, and that's why I keep saying, only the people want to save the people. A knowledgeable, informed, educated population minimize the chance of we get chancy. The chances of somebody take advantage of we, meaning not to work enough we best interests, get smaller the more knowledge we have. And the more we learn, the more we realize we don't know. So long, I'm going to talk. The number is 280-5848. 280-5848. I was born, I convinced I ban attack. I'm a natural talker. But sometimes I get tired of hearing your own voice. You want to hear other people's voices, position, ideas. And I'm going to change the subject. I'm going to talk about whatever I want to talk about. I remember now, we still have the 35 people from whom they worked at the Port of Belize who got terminated unjustly so. I don't know how they're in the process, but I know them people are exhausted, tired, discouraged, angry, and rightly so, because justice has not been served for them people who were unjustly terminated. So I just said to the government of Belize, we don't have one day for inform about proposals we're going to get for review, cabinet members specifically. Now, the Port of Belize Limited, and that's how come UEF, UBAD Educational Foundation, on the 10th of March will be our 29th anniversary, and the fourth pillar of Mandela Newspaper 55 years, Creme Radio 35 years, UEF 28 years, XTV 21 years. That's my mantra. Because it carries a lot of weight to be the only African Black independent owned media house in the region, the only one. And so, give thanks we have our own media house, and so we could come and share, listen to one another, bring things forward, even if we don't always agree, the space that we have the platform for our voices to be heard with respect. And so, UEF at the time, we had partnered with the University of Bristol, contacted 5 credible community organizations in 5 countries, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, Belize, Colombia, and, okay, I said Jamaica, Puerto Rico, Belize, Colombia, and Antigua and Barbuda. And then they tell you, find something in your community, what I want concern for, no? And then we provide seed money, technical guidance, research. We make uno lead, which is not usually what happen, but another way I say credible community organizations. So they vet and they see what kind of work you're going to do before they even come to you. And they say that, you have evidence that you did this work before, you know how to do it. You have never have environmental justice experience per se. Either the spokesperson for UEF, this is my life work. This is what I do. And so they give the money, and so I have to study one lot, learn. It's very time consuming. Learn the laws, give thanks. I have people with attorneys who are willing to teach me. And so I approached at the time 2 executive directors of 2 environmental non-governmental organizations in Belize. And I said today, I want to advocate for the people that will live closest to the Port of Belize Limited. Remember UEF priority, the African descendants. Like I said, the phone they work, I don't know where I do. Christy called, show me a sign just now. So I just to check for make sure the phone good. Somebody must be try call. I never hang up the phone properly. Sorry, apologies. The phone number is 280-5848. 280-5848, and calling. And so I approached these 2 executive directors of 2 environmental NGOs at the time. And I tell them what I want to do on behalf of UEF. Remember, we focused good morning, apologies. I must have tried call and I never hang up the phone properly. Thank you for calling. You're warm fire there?
Yeah, I'm warm. You because I tell you that you can start that project now to see government get back this Port of Belize, right? And then the same thing with the Astrap want to do, that they want to do. They want to put what two thing, with the container thing. That's what Mr. Astrap wanted. Remember, one side of the thing halfway, and then you got to stop and go an extra license. So the chair said that the same thing you got to do because they got to have the shipment coming inland. And I listen, I'm not going to tell last night, say, when we don't know Snake Bank, them on these shop, Well, why the hell you want to tell us that Sani could do anything and do this? You know deep down in your mind it's in our short project. You know? And what I want to show with this Mr. Mayor, he wants to charge for garbage collection. The arrangement we have, I don't know for how long with Diamond International. You know, YaYa, that only $5 a head that the government get for the tourists will come out the ship, you know.
They never increase it?
$5 a head. No, the ship brings 7,000 people. 500 come out at the ship. No, we only collect for 500, you know. You know who gets the rest of that money? Diamond and they don't own the sea. The manifest for that ship supposed to come to Belize City Council. So, no, but he wants to charge we for pick up with garbage, raise the price, collect for 100 people to come out of the ship.
Brother, how you know so much?
Huh?
How you know so much?
Well, because they sign up open things. But I don't know for how long, because there some years they sign agreement, and I'm quite sure that time don't expire. The next thing, why are you going to be giving these contracts with garbage collection? Still wait till the council use that your own truck, that your own people go pick up your own thing, your own garbage. Because we never had no problem. But all of a sudden, when they jump in and take over, they want to hustle so darn much, then how they going to privatize things? You get it? I know the privatization come back and bite them in the butt. Because 65,000 a week are nothing to pay for payroll. If you make your 10 truck in the city, you got your own garbage collection people there, but your bank car, you don't licking and licking and licking and licking and licking. You feel me?
Yes, brother.
You went, last time we meet the water shareholder meeting, and the port shareholder meeting, when I asked you the question, what happened to the small shareholders? No, only 68 that were bought shares at that port, you know, yeah, listen, it's good, 68. And that port raised $26 million. Me and my wife got a small share, but, well, you know that 68 people and you raised $26 million? That's a serious money some people putting in that port, you know.
Brother, I am so wowed by the amount of knowledge you have, truly. And our father, the one of the shareholders of the port, and that one bone was stuck in my throat. The shareholders that just get shafted?
And the bottom line, we never signed with no Luke expression. We signed with Port of Belize. And Port of Belize still they operate, still they make money. So we supposed to get, because of the EPM thing, where we used to have the villa, that cancelled out. The man instead to take that money and build the port away. What we pay for, he can build Renaissance, he can build Crockland. And I don't hear nobody say nothing about it. I call, when Mr. President get on the air, they don't take no card. Because I want to know what happened for we money.
You don't a shareholder?
Huh?
You don't a shareholder?
I'm a shareholder. If I let the meet where we meet up, I'm going to show them boy a port. So I came my document, I said, boy, how much shares you got? Then boy a port look at me like they laugh. I said, what do you mean? They never know nothing. I said, but only supposed to be the first person they approached to buy shares in a place. Marin and everybody was there, Nelly, everybody was there right there.
Brother, do me a favor. How much shareholders you say they have?
68 away.
68. I don't want the rest of shareholders contact me. Brother, my number is 671-8050.
Hold on, make a write down for you.
So at least I know 2 out of 65 shareholders. Our dad and you. So I don't want the other 63 shareholder contact me. Make we try reason together and make a talk with our attorney and see what right the 65 shareholders have. Because valid point, I mean, this I want my pie is. My number is 671-8050. 671-8050. The shareholders, people who buy shares in the port of Belize Limited. My brother said that 65 people. He know he not one of them.
Yeah, 68 are about shares.
68.
And they raised $26 million.
How much?
$26 million.
Over what time period?
Huh?
Over what time period they raise that 26 million?
68 we Ghana Central Bank and pay.
Oh, okay.
And net 68 million, raise $26 million.
Oh, there's 68 shareholders?
Yes.
Raise 26 million Belize dollars?
68 and then raise water, 1,400 people bought shares of water. And they only raised 41 million. That's a serious money invested in a port. I give Mr. Curry my document, make it photocopy, make it, you got to picture everything. I said, boy, address this thing, man, because we take advantage of, you know what I'm saying? So, we make a damn good pencil. My wife bring my marker, all right. Your number what? Yeah?
671. I mean, my got blank just now. 8050. 671 8050. I call for the other 66 people. I hope they're still alive or their family members have they.
Well, they're still alive because to me, only one neighbor of mine were acting well and said, I'm going to go. But the rest, William Kwan, then Keith, and people are some serious ones, man. Serious money, and I really need to get to the bottom of the thing where have to reach. You know, the last time when we did, I said, where going? Well, we have to come to the villa. I said, I'm going to buy Cockland, so we just want to give it 25 cents each to go to Cockland. I mean, if I use that together, I take that together, and count, give it to the people in YaYa. Carry the picnic up there. I left with 2 tickets. And listen, the Sunday to come from up north, and me and my wife decided to stop in there. But I really talk. I drink one beer, and my wife drink one Coke. And we walk out, and I forgot to pay the payment because we talk. I look wrong. And I said, why am I going to go to the office to pay the money the Monday? When I got to the office, that is the one place there. That's because big sign says, thing locked down. So yeah, I said, confiscate our properties. But I let you and meet up, you know what I'm saying? Because we have to get this thing straight.
All right, brother.
It is ridiculous.
Thanks for the call. Big thanks for the knowledge.
All right, babe. Yeah.
Guidance.
All right.
So why I like community conversation, and I like when it's people-led. Like this brother, they own his interests. He buys shares along with 67 other people in the Port of Belize Limited, and he said his 68 people raised 28 million Belize dollars. So the Port of Belize Limited have to answer to their shareholders and then they invest in the Port of Belize Limited. Big respect to them people. I have another 6 minutes. The number is 280-5848. I was so wrong. I apologize. Morning. Thanks for calling. We have another 6 minutes to talk. Talk to me. Go ahead.
Yes.
Morning. We have 6 minutes. Talk.
Yes, greetings. I will talk after the 2 cents Campbell. Right now, I only want to say, Sister YaYa, give respect and thanks for taking care of my concern on the BCBI problem. But I had been registered on the NHI for over 5 years. Those people just denying my right to have the NHI service. One, respect to you, and later on I'll call back for another issue. Respect.
All right. Thanks, brother. Guidance. Remember, we have a guest at 7:30. The number is 280-5848. We have 5 minutes before we have to go to the 2 cents can break. And so I was saying, big thanks to that brother we're calling, especially about the shareholders into the Port of Belize Limited. When I approached the 2 executive directors of the environmental NGOs and telling them what it is that UF want to do in the interest of the people who live nearest to the port, they were excited. They said because as environmental NGOs, the bulk of their money will come from oftentimes outside funders about the physical environment, focus on people. So I'm happy to hear, that somebody come forward with an interest for the interest of the people. And eventually then 2 executive directors stopped taking the calls. I don't know if they never think that I may listen to them real good and I may do the work. I really challenge everybody will have one interest and I'm going to say nothing. And that's how come I buck up Belize Federation of Fishers, because they defend the interests of fishers and fisher families and fishing communities in Belize. and at the how me and BFF, meaning YuB Educational Foundation, start to work consistently. We currently have one Belize Blue Bond Awareness Campaign, and for the entire year. Last Saturday, we had Nigel Martinez, and he called in yesterday, and I tell him, or advised him, I recommend that BFF call in once a week to every talk show and keep sharing the knowledge you want to have about the Belize Blue Bond and its evidence-based, as well as the advocacy and concerns for fishers. Good morning. Thanks for call. Talk to me.
Morning, sister.
Morning,
blessed morning. Good to hear your voice, and as always, we're very informed. I'm making the first call for the year, reminding everybody about Burma and the laughs we had coming into the new year. I know we only got 5 minutes, but we want justice, and we want justice for the Ramnarees brothers, Vivian Ramnarees, Michael Williams, Orlando Castellanos, Ahmad Farid, and the Farid case, man, we want to know why is it that they haven't, with all this thing with the courts, then they show away all the fancy cloaks that they got on and the big receptions and they got, we want to know when they are bringing Michelle Brown under protective custody to close this case with Ahmad. I mean, we have somebody who has witnessed what they say, they know what happened. We want to see the commissioner with the boast about his track record too. We want to see him provide the necessary protection for Ms. Brown to come in and give her a statement so we could get at least one of the murders just solved and get the criminal off the street and make him stay where he belongs.
Respect, brother, some beloved brother, Harmonyville original organizer, Stumpy. Like most has said in the past, you have been.
After here, so you could talk.
Yeah. Oh, you're going? All right then. Well, thanks for the call. You have to go.
I know you have to go to break, and when I start, I can't stop. So if anything,
I'll
call back.
You know what I like about callers when they call in, and that, I mean, like, make my day like him right now, is that on a so in tune, that only to pay attention to the time clock as well. So I know I got 5 minutes, so you only got respect, Stumpy. One love.
Yes, sister, listen after you. Listen.
All right, brother. One love. I can't take any more calls because I'll have to go to break in about 1 minute. But respect that, I mean, brother. One of the original Big Year brothers. I don't know. I think that 2010, 2011, 5 Rastafari brother at the time squatted on 1,300 acres of land between miles 41 and 42 on what is called the George Price Highway. And said to Belizean people for $1,000 Belize dollars and you could get 1 acre of land. Has been a struggle. They stay in it. Give thanks to everybody. We support them. We still work with them. But the brother from Belmopan, and so, you know, he know the Ramnarees family. And he not just look upon that family, he look upon the other injustices that happened based on the accusations of police officers being involved in murders or killings. And so I really, we don't have this often that you have one everyday person would take on one community interests and just not let it go. Big respect to Brother Stumpy out of Belmopan. And I hear anytime I call, he have names, he knowledgeable, and that's what I said to people, whatever that your interests, take it, make it your business to learn more about whatever it is that your interests. And then you start to advocate for the cause, talk to other people about it. Find out, you know, who are the resource people in your community who know as much as you, more than you, different than you, and work with them people. And that's why our next guest when they come back has done just that in her golden years. We're gonna take one quick break. It's 2 cents come time, being sponsored by Port Point Security. to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes here at XTV, Sweet Southside Belize City. We have our guest, she called ahead of time. Our guest this morning is Sister Penelope Penny Casasola, original Ubatter, and in her golden years, she's an advanced lactation consultant. Good morning, Sister Penny.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Oh, no,
My
I see
pleasure.
why Brother Cliff and Sister Christy, the top boy, look for Sister Penny background. No, I see why they say that. They admire background. Sister Penny, how are you feeling this cool, chilly Thursday morning?
I had all intention to wear the dress from which this design was cut. And then I woke up to 67 degrees. So I had to go into winter mode.
You're looking good, Sister Penny.
I had to pull out all my thermal stuff because I am always cold.
Yes, indeed. Sister Penny is an original Ubatter, like one of the original members of United Black Association Development, original Belizean community-based organization, cultural organization and political party from 1969 to 1974, 69 to 74. She's one of the original members. Sister Penny, how did you become interested in breastfeeding? I mean, you could have done retire from this and have dedicated your entire rest of your life to sensitizing, building awareness, being supportive of breastfeeding families, not only in Belize, but anywhere you go. You're the breastfeeding ambassador. How you get interested in that?
Believe it or not, ever since I was 10 years old, I had a cat and a dog as pets.
Mm-hmm.
The dog and I were the labor support for the cat. When the maternity center was under my bed. And when my mother observed what I was doing, she asked me at age 10, what was my plan for my future career? I knew. I said, what I'm doing right now. I said, I didn't care if it was animal or human, but this I found fascinating to see the relationship between the mother and the newborn, and between different species of animals. I found it fascinating.
The reason why I asked Sister Penny to come this morning is because she's been doing this work for a long time, but she doesn't feel heard. Sister Penny, what has been your experience with raising awareness, in particular among institutions? How long have you done this now, Sister Penny, as an advanced lactation consultant?
I have, since I retired, I retired in 2006. And on retirement, I went to a consultant to ask where was my background, information, and experience best placed to serve Belize. Because I always intended to live in Belize. And I went to Mrs. Laura Tucker Longsworth. And she told me about the baby-friendly hospital initiative, and that would be a good place because someone, I wasn't certified at the time. I was a retired midwife and nurse practitioner. And so I went to Carl Hushnan and offered my services as a volunteer. And at the maternity, they asked me to support those who had C-section, cesarean section mothers, because they needed a lot of help in those first few hours. And I used to go to the gym at Body 2000. And I met Dr. Paul Edwards, who asked me if I would come and volunteer at Matron Roberts Health Center because he wanted a focus study done. And so I committed to 1 day there and 2 days, I think, or 3 days at Carl Hushner. The interesting thing is when I got to that clinic, I found the mothers that I had counseled and supported at Carl Hushner, and they were no longer breastfeeding. They were totally giving formula. And when I questioned, I realized that a great majority of the mothers were working mothers. And in their understanding, they could not work and breastfeed, continue to breastfeed. And that's when it fell into like awareness. The community aspect and the workplace support was much needed. And that's when I started looking around for a location where I could give that kind of service. So I offered it in the congregation I worship. And then one day at the service at St. John's Cathedral, I saw Patrick Farb and I said, wouldn't you like your teachers, because he was Minister of Education at the time, to learn how to work and still breastfeed? And he said, go to the Education and Resource Center on Antelope Street. So I wrote up the proposal with all the statistics, everything that I had done, because it was a double opportunity to do the focus study for Central Health. At that time, Dr. Edwards was there, and then also to question my own contribution. Was it being useful? So I put it in an envelope, and I was going to call Hushna to a meeting on the bus, but when I got off the bus, I realized I didn't have it. The whole proposal, I had to come back home, and thank God for computer, I reloaded it. But when I got to College Education Resource Center, Mrs. Bab, Faith Bab, was the person there who's the director. And she was overjoyed and she was excited about. I said, but I haven't even opened my mouth. What are you talking about? I've come here to do a proposal. She said, no, you dropped it on the bus and somebody found it and brought it in by taxi. And I keep telling this story because I would love to meet that person, to thank them and let them see how their one contribution has made this such a wonderful experience.
You know, Sister Penny, I was just saying during the break to Christy that one of the reasons why I genuinely love Belizean people, because of the community connection. I mean, that one simple act of kindness, and they catch taxi and go carry it, they be serious about. I mean, I just love Belizean people for that. And the when you talk, Christy, make sure they show up on the screen your advanced lactation consultant certification.
Yes.
And then a lot of people got that. So that for sure that you have the lived experience.
I happen to be the only one in Belize at the moment, but it doesn't mean that anybody could do it. Anybody could.
Sister Penny.
And there's a story why I got that, why I got there. Because I knew of the program from colleagues from Jackson Memorial Hospital where I worked in Miami. But it never interested me until Laura Longswood said about, and that's how I learned about the WHO, UNICEF's INCAP service in Belize. And it so happened that that was in place when I was trying to join in, to collaborate and network with the service. So through Carl Hushner was the first venture. And then I met Dr. Lavaspada Bear, Natalia Bear, at Ministry of Health, who's in charge of maternal and child health. So they actually provided all the equipment, computer, chairs, tables, and for the Education and Resource Center service in the college education community. And so initially that was the launch, 2010. And then after that we started having workshops, community workshops. With the first one was 2011 at ITVET, and then there was another one at Radisson. And these were all co-funded by College as well as Ministry of Education and INCAP. INCAP is the Institute of Nutrition for Central American Panama. So Dr. Polanco, and he was the focal point at the time. But it takes, I'm telling you, it takes a sort of bravery to introduce yourself to these people, because they don't know anything about me. So I had to make myself known and express my willingness to volunteer for services or to collaborate with them and do wherever they send me, they paid the expenses for me to go to Southern Regional, Punta Gorda, Belmopan, Cayo, and so they sent me there to to join with the team. There was always a team of facilitators who did the education, community and staff of these institutions that provided maternity and newborn care in the Ministry of Health.
Sister Penny, I don't know if you're a part of one campaign, but you know the campaign had to have been damn good, because I was a child or a younger person that I still remember the slogan. And anytime I think about breastfeeding, I think about breast milk, not the breast milk for your baby, and I think of our ancestral sister Eva Middleton.
Actually, I met the great Eva Middleton, who was the founder of Breast is Best and coordinator. I met her all the way at an opening of a polyclinic in Toledo.
Yes.
And it was a pleasure meeting her and seeing her not only her vision, but her energy. She had a lot of energy, and she included everybody. Nobody was excluded. Yes. So wherever you met her, you would know. And that's how I learned. Because remember now, I did nursing many years ago in the 60s, and then I came home and I worked here in the service at the old hospital. I was a midwife at the old hospital. But even from then, I recognized the need to go on learning, that foundation learning is not all there is. You have to build on that foundation, no matter what your qualification is. And that's why it's important to get recertified and to do continued education in your field and related fields. Because years afterwards, I realized, just being in one area of the service of healthcare was not enough to make me feel fulfilled. I wanted to know more. And so I went back to school. I did a master's in health services administration, because there I would learn all about economics. I would learn about healthcare, management, the whole package. And that has given me, along with a bachelor's in professional management, has given me a broader perspective on everything pertaining to business, how to incorporate help, how to network, how to collaborate across the board and not just isolate yourself. Because this breastfeeding initiative, education, and promotion, protection, and support requires that. It requires you to know more than just the basics, to be as effective as our population desires, requires, and is entitled to. There's a lot to build on. And a lot of what I learned is from the population I serve. Knowing, like what I said, I found out by happenstance that the teaching that was being given at the bedside was not enough, that there needed to be increased awareness and support in the community, house to house, community to community, mother to mother, father to father. And often one of the things is that we omit and ignore the input and the value of the father.
I was talking with Krista this morning, and I asked her breastfeeding experience, and it affirmed exactly what you said, that at the time she felt that it was insufficient, what was offered at the Belize City Hospital at the time. How would you describe Belize's breastfeeding culture, Sister Penny?
It goes up and down. Years ago, our statistics were much better than it dropped to 10% of exclusive breastfeeding, which means giving the baby only breast milk for the first 6 months of life, nothing else. And when I joined in, I think we were at 10%, and that had dropped from 25% in the like early in the best is breast years. With Miss Eva Middleton, I think it was 25% or something like that. And it dropped to 10. And then it gradually increased incrementally It went to 14%, 2011, and 2015, 2016, it was 33.2%. So there's a crawl, there's an increase. It isn't going as, with all the effort that's being put in, there are some gaps. And unless we fill those gaps with the essential that's required to close those gaps, it's like, that saying, a chain is as strong as its weakest link, that some of the times we ignore or we are not aware of the clincher. And from my observation, the clincher is giving the father the opportunity to be there, to be supportive, because it's where people live, you need to give the support. It's all well and good to give the education in the clinics, in the hospital, but what happens when they go home? That community health aspect is so essential, and it's available in our rural areas from one of the studies done by, I think it was WHO and Ministry of Health and Wellness. A recent study showed that in the urban areas, there needed to be an increased support, community support.
Sister Penny, before we go to break, and you'll come back after the break, why is breast milk best for newborns, especially during the first 6 months of their life?
It's essential because there's nothing like it, and it is. Are you on break now?
No. I'm smiling because Christy is on point. She has the exclusive breastfeeding information that you sent to me. So go ahead.
Because it's from the mother herself and this child. So each mother's milk is so exquisite and dynamic for her baby. Whether the baby is born preterm or full term, exclusive breastfeeding is so essential. In that milk, there are several things, not only the nutrition that build bones and teeth and muscles, but we have other things that are called human milk oligosaccharides, which are sugars. And they're from the mother's body, from the birth passage area to the skin on her face, on her neck, on her breast, all contribute to building the immunity of that child. So if that mother has some or has had some illness, her body has already manufactured antibodies to protect her young against that condition. But even more amazing is that if the baby got sick, saliva of the baby, when in contact with the breast, because of the ducts that come out, bring out the milk, it also takes in any virus or bacteria that is in the baby's body, goes to the glands, the breast glands. And I love to show and tell, because a lot of people they won't know what I'm talking about, but I don't know if you can see this.
I could see it and leave it.
Yeah. Anyway, there are glands that are not only there from you're born, but it evolves, it grows, and it improves on its function so that during the pregnancy, it makes colostrum, which is the first milk. And that will feed in the baby's gut, and it will build immunity. It also builds the brain stem. So there are so many things that are not manufactured by hand or by man, but are placed in our natural bodies.
Isn't that amazing?
The miracle, and I mean, there's a family recently that had COVID, mother, father, and 3 children, but the breastfeeding baby did not get it. The whole house has got COVID. And another case where the baby got COVID, but survived. So that breast milk, and I know of a case, I met personally a man who had cancer of the face. He was in California. And there is a place around Seattle area that has donor milk, a donor milk bank. And the
Wow.
only thing that man could survive on was breast milk, and that man survived. And
Good.
they're in the
Wow.
milk, there are things called Hamlet cells. It's an acronym for organisms in the breast milk. Hamlet cells.
Wow. With that, we have to go to break. Stay tuned. We have Sister Penelope Penny Casasola, the only advanced lactation consultant in Belize. Break time. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. Sister YaYa, we have our guest this morning, Sister Penelope Penny Casasola, the only advanced lactation consultant in Belize. Sister Penny, what are some challenges you find that people have with breastfeeding? I know I've heard people talk about latching, the baby don't want the breast milk, I don't want my breast sag, it hurt when the baby suck, the milk not a condone, my breast hard. I'm sure you hear a lot more. So guide us through some of the challenges mothers have with breastfeeding, and that's why I bring you this morning. Talk directly today for understand why it's so important to learn why breast milk, exclusive breastfeeding, good for your child, especially the first 6 months of their life. And if they have challenges, they could call you night or day, even if they're not in the country, I believe, and you could handhold them through the process, providing they agree for the way you're telling after you don't talk today.
Permit me, if you will, 60 seconds to just tie in what we started talking about to what you're asking now. Remember I said I went to call Hushna? Well, the nurse in charge of maternity at the time was Yvette Messiah, who is also the committee chair for the breastfeeding committee at Call Hushna. And it's in networking with her, we started that service at College Education. When it was launched, it was in conjunction with her as an organizer. And we have, up to this day, we still do that as a group. And the group has just grown. And I must say now it includes a man, Ronald Stewart, who also is a father who was very involved with his wife's pregnancy and breastfeeding. And so it's getting people on board who not have lived that experience. Also, I had a patient, and I will call her name because up to now, she's part of the network. Her name is Dalila Vancy Crone, who is a dentist in Placencia at Tooth Fairy Dental Service. I happened to be her labor coach when she was having her firstborn and her breastfeeding support, and she kept saying it hurts. So tying in with what you just asked. And I kept saying, but it looks right. It looks right. She said, but it hurts. It hurts. And she went on. And you could see there was damage on the breast. I had no clue. That is when I went to do this course with the Healthy Children's Project based in Massachusetts, but they do international education. So I got my education for this, what I'm doing now in Florida, but through the Healthy Children's Project. And I'm licensed by the Academy of Lactation Policy and Practice in Massachusetts. Because I became a lactation counselor. That was step one. And I saw conditions like you were saying, just like you described it, and I could not understand it. I was getting frustrated. I said, I'm not serving any purpose here. I'm still seeing conditions that I can't find the answers to, so let me quit. And then came up this advertisement for advanced lactation consultant training. So off I went again and did the training. And at that training, 9 out of 10 mothers who came for assessment and referral, the babies had tight tongue or tight lip or some condition that I had never seen before or did not know how it could affect breastfeeding. So in answer to what you're saying, yes, if the baby does not latch onto the areola, and the areola is that pigmented area that surrounds the nipple. If the baby only latches on the nipple, it will damage the nipple because in the roof of our mouth and the baby's mouth is a hard palate. And so if the nipple rubs against that, it causes friction. Not only that, the baby does not access milk. So the baby's there chomping away, but not suckling. Suckling means that the baby's tongue is stroking the breast, and that the areola, which is the pigmented area around the nipple, is way back, touching the soft palate. It pulls it in because a seal is formed. And if you can turn your lip back, you'll find the membrane, mucous membrane in the lip, top and bottom lip, that forms a seal on the areola. If that does not happen, if there's not a deep latch, the baby doesn't get milk and the mother's breast gets damaged. And so how we hold the baby and making sure the baby has a wide gape at the corner of the mouth, 140 degrees angle, is essential for a good latch. Access the milk. The milk stored in little pockets called sinuses around that pigmented area, 16 to 20 of those. And they are full of milk. And as fast as the baby can access that milk, more milk is poured in because the milk is being made in the glands and it goes through ducts, microscopic passageways that lead from the glands through the breast to the nipple and into the baby's mouth. And it's important. I can't stress how important it is for a baby to get a deep latch. Otherwise, it doesn't get food. So it's more important that at birth, these babies are examined and before they go home that they are latching, or find out why and correct the reason why there's a poor latch or the mother is feeling pain. So it could look right, but if it's not right, you've got to do further examination and assessment to find out why.
Sister Penny, I just feel bad that I can't get this one image that I wanted to show. Sister Penny had recommended some YouTube videos, but XTV cannot show or choose not to show YouTube videos because we keep getting sanctioned and our channel being pulled whenever we show YouTube videos. So that's the reason why. But trust me, Sister Penny, send the image, the videos there. She has a lot of resource. I want to tell you the name of the videos so you can go up on YouTube and look at it. Positions for breastfeeding, breastfeeding series, and a newborn's anatomy aids in breastfeeding and breastfeeding hormones in play. But Sister Penny, one of the things you taught me, which I never know, important. Talk about the lip tie.
Yes. Underneath your lip, if you lift it up, there's a thing that looks like a string. It's called a frenulum. And under your tongue, there's one too that holds it in place. But if any of them are too thick or too short, it means the tongue can't do that. If the tongue cannot cover the gum line, the breast is rubbing on the gum line, and you know that's going to damage it. And that is a picture of a baby with a tie lip. Belizean baby too.
I was going to say, Sister Penny, who had that?
The parents.
Okay.
Parents.
Good. That is so absolutely important. I'll open the phone lines. It's 280-5848. If anybody have any questions, comments, want to share their experience about breastfeeding in Belize, please call. But that I'll be on top about till 8:30. 280-5848. Sister Penny, please stress again what is absolutely critical for babies to breastfeed and have fathers involved, and what that a challenge, short and long term, for newborns especially, would it take formula?
First of all, the breastfeeding is natural. It's available. I mean, on rare occasions, so rare, the one in thousands, when a baby will not breastfeed for whatever reason. And it's not because I never had milk, because unless the mother has a condition called polycystic ovarian syndrome, and it's only some of the mothers in that category may not have the glands in the breast to produce the amount of milk as the baby grows to increase the productivity of milk. It's a rare condition. But in countries like America, you have donor banks. Here they call it wet nurse, or, That's the old name, but donor milk is available in some settings where you can go and access that. Just like if your milk supply is not enough, you can get another mother's milk to supplement.
But Sister Penny, at the top of the show, you never really talk about the milk, each mom milk different kinds of the relationship between the baby and the mom.
Yes.
So if you go for donor milk, you to get somebody else's relationship with that mother and the child.
You'll be getting that other person's, but it still has the nutrition. It may not have the oligosaccharides. But if the baby is still going skin to skin on the mother, that baby will access those bacteria and sugars from the baby's mother's body.
Just by skin to skin?
Just by being held, because remember, babies love to cuddle up and lick, and so the babies are getting that from its own mother and father. Skin to skin immediately at birth, and until that baby should be held skin to skin until that first feed, whether it's a cesarean section delivery or a vaginal delivery. Babies should be, unless medically contraindicated, babies should be held skin to skin. Whether they're premature, I mean, especially premature babies. In fact, in Bogota, Colombia, I think it was, years ago, when they ran out of space because of premature babies, they recognized that the mother's body was better than an incubator. And so they did continuous skin to skin, where the mother was there with the baby and the mother was strapped down to the baby. Pouch, like the kangaroo pouch, but between the breasts, strapped on. And so your mothers were wearing the baby, but fathers can wear the babies too. So that alone provides stability. Blood sugar, temperature, heart rate, blood pressure, and I didn't miss out one. 5 things, it stabilizes that baby. Okay? But in addition to that, let's say the mother is going to have a cesarean section and it's a scheduled cesarean section for whatever reason. The mother can harvest her colostrum in the last 2 weeks before, like 38 weeks of the pregnancy, and have it stored in her fridge so that at birth, let's say because of medication, because sometimes medication that's given in labor and delivery inhibits the letdown of the milk. That's another thing I found out. You know, sometimes mothers would say, just like you asked the question, but I not got no milk and the milk not let down. Sometimes it's what we gave the mother that inhibits that. And we discovered that a medication called fentanyl that was being given with epidural or spinal anesthesia inhibits, a study done by the same Healthy Children's Project discovered that the oxytocin was inhibited from letting out the milk. And so it was so important for us to stop doing that, and we did. And I know for sure at Carl Hushner that was stopped because of that inhibition. But the mother's milk will let down so long as you hold the baby skin to skin. And I'll tell you, even a mental image of holding your baby skin to skin. There's a case where the father brought the mother to my home because the baby was born preterm and was in the ICU. And I don't know if you can see my baby, but I have a baby.
Yes. 1 sec, Sister Penny. Caller. Oh no, I never hang up the phone good again. People may try reach. I am so sorry. Go ahead, Sister Penny, but if the call control again, I want to take it. Show your baby, and I like that you're down baby and color you have there.
Of course, I mean, my melanated baby. Have you ever look like me? Anyway, this baby here. Though she's a model, that mother held this baby and her breast milk just flowed.
What?
Poured out right in my house. Yes. If I never see it, I wouldn't have believed it. But just that image. So holding a baby stimulates the letdown of milk.
Caller, thanks for calling. Apologies for never hang up the phone properly. One moment, Sister Penny. We have a call. Caller, go ahead.
Yes, respect. It's me again. I know you put the phone 2 times back, but that's okay.
Is this a breastfeeding call? Is it a breastfeeding call?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
But I was just saying, if you hang the phone, it's a human mistake. That's okay.
Okay.
I want to thank you the information from the sister. I am a man, I am a father, I am a grandfather, but that doesn't make a difference. It's good to know these things because you could advise your daughters and your nieces and your granddaughters about it. Now, I learned in my studies that the only milk that is good for children, for human consumption, is the mother's milk. Yet people keep suggesting formulas and cow milk. So the sister that have the experience and expertise, she could assist me to let me know. My belief is there is no milk like mother's milk. Respect.
Thanks, brother. Best milk, now the best milk for your baby. Sister Penny, please address that matter.
I didn't hear. It's
okay. He's a father and grandfather, and to better position him to guide his children, daughters, grandchildren, he think that breast milk, that the best milk for children, but people keep the drink formula and cow milk. So if you could please address that.
Well, it's lack of knowledge. It really is lack of knowledge. And as I said, that's the reason why I went back to school and keep going back to school because I'm required to do that to keep my license anyway. But you could speak to Nurse Yvette Messiah, Nurse Ashley, Charles Worth, Ronald Stewart, all the people and the community people who are working in other settings like in the Carl Hushner or the private hospitals like Nurse Mackenzie at Buttonwood Bay. Buttonwood Bay has us come in like quarterly to teach their mothers and fathers about breastfeeding. So we have an orientation program or PowerPoint program that we can go anywhere. Anybody who wants to invite us can call 615-2344.
Give that number one more time, Sister Penny.
615-2344. And then I would notify the rest of the team because a team of us that do this.
We have another 5 minutes. Please address formula in particular. What happens, especially when newborns are on formulas, and why we would encourage moms to breastfeed instead of putting their children on formulas.
It does not compare. It is needs only. There are some children, rarely, who will need and won't be able to take the mother's milk for medical reasons. Those children will be given formula because they have to feed, they have to eat. And so it is not the first nor the best situation to feed your baby artificial anything. The mother's milk is the best because it's homogeneous. It's the same. The baby is coming from the mother, and the mother's milk is best for the baby because of the nutrients, immunization, the brain stem development. Babies that are fed exclusive breast milk, either expressed breast milk or milk at the breast, will earn 33% higher salaries in the long run. So it has a lifetime benefit. It protects the baby against non-communicable diseases, high blood pressure, diabetes, type 2. Even a mother who has gestational diabetes, if she exclusively breastfeeds her baby, she knows that baby would develop type 2 diabetes.
Last question, Sister Penny.
Childhood obesity. Those conditions would not occur with exclusive breastfeeding.
Thanks, Sister Penny. Last question. How long is supposed to breastfeed your children there?
It's 1,000 days is the time starting with the pregnancy and 2 years or beyond. That is the standard, the international standard. So exclusive breastfeeding at 6 months, the baby starts to eat table food, specially prepared table food, pureed at first, and then the baby graduates as it gets teeth. But immediately after, at 6 months, the baby is offered the same food you eat. You prepare it for the baby's nutrition.
One child at 6 months.
And and you continue to breastfeed for up to 2 years and beyond.
Okay, so generally, most babies would not exclusively be on breast milk if they're offered table food at 6 months and beyond?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Okay, so generally, if you're exclusively breastfeed up to 6 months, and at the 6 months period,
you add food, you add
food, you don't stop breastfeed.
Pardon?
You don't stop breastfeed.
No, you don't, because it's essential. The growth and development, the best growth and development occurs in that first 1,000 days.
Well, in my situation, and I absolutely love the breastfeed. My partner at the time had questions because I enjoyed the experience of breastfeeding, like having that baby. Oh my gosh!
You have the bond.
Like for life, me and my one belly pain. I love breastfeeding, but my challenge was my grand aunt babysit for we youth. I know they all Belizean woman. Maybe other people do. I tell about for we one. She would have take ground food, whatever, and she put it in at the blender. And so she would have given, but then at 6 months, men like never want my breast because and nice it again, good thing. And so I would have hold, and you know what, I'm so hurt that he stopped breastfeed at 6 months. He didn't, I mean at first he lap it up. But once at 6 months and nice start to introduce her to table food where she'd have put in at the blender, you know what, no more breast milk after that.
Did you try to express it and give him in a sippy cup?
No, I did not. This is the last call. Make a take
different
it.
little techniques. Let's say the baby.
One second, Sister Penny. Good morning. Is this a breastfeeding call?
Yes, good morning. Yes, it is.
All right. This is the last call. Go ahead.
Yes, you know, with all this pestilence and disease going on with the screwworm and the bird flu,
I'm not hearing.
I don't even drink cow milk. You know, I drink plant-based milk like almond milk and oat milk. Is that good for babies? Because basically, this world is changing. Your eggs, your poultry, your cows, and all that type of milk inside them is going to be diseases that infect us with diseases later on in our life. Anyways, just good job, bless.
Thanks for the call. Sister Penny, what I find interesting is that the two calls...
I didn't hear the call.
I'll share it with you. What's interesting is that the two calls we got were from men. He said with all the diseases... I
wish there were more.
All the diseases there...
Absolutely. You know, men, we ignore a lot of situations. We want success, and there are reasons why we're not getting the full 100% success rate. It's because our men are not encouraged, educated, and given paternity leave of a meaningful nature. We give 5 days. Now, the mother's body goes back to a non-pregnant condition in 6 weeks. She needs home support. And the father's role is essential during labor and during that early days settling in.
Thanks, Sister Penny.
So there's a mother, there's a grandmother, there's other people, but the father, according to the studies, 98% success rate is guaranteed when the father's involved.
Respect,
Without
Sister
that,
Penny.
26% success rate.
The brother was saying that with all the diseases we're having with cattle, for example, that we are not to be drinking cow milk. And I tell people, the cow milk, that's for the calf. That's who for drink the cow milk, the calf.
Yes.
No,
yes,
we.
Yes.
And then, so he was saying how important, so he introduced soy milk, and something else would be, I mean, as adults, if we choose to drink, like, is to have plant-based milk like soy or almond, as opposed to milk from cow. I don't know the break time now, Sister Penny, and this part will get segment end. But just give you a last minute or two. I know you never finish your presentation with the doll you have. So just finish up with where I want to tell you about the doll, and then I have to go to a quick break.
Well, there's so much to learn, okay? And that's why I give out the number. But I'd like to give out the international number in case somebody is listening overseas and wants to call, because we do classes on WhatsApp.
Go ahead.
You don't have to be in the same location. So, because I have families all the way in America and in the Caribbean. So, that number is 352-345-6391.
Say it again.
352-345-6391.
Big thanks, Sister Penelope Penny Casasola, Advanced lactation consultant, the only one that believes. Give thanks for the time you take this morning for sharing it with Sister Penny. We value you. We appreciate you. Please take good care of yourself so you could never long, long, long. Break
And
time.
I hope that those people who have questions, do please call, because there's so much more information. We did not even touch the tip of the iceberg.
Respect. Her number is 615-2344. Break time.
One of the things also, the mother is protected against cancers.
Thanks, sis.
Okay?
In Belize,
Welcome back to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes. For we time, I don't know what is me on this phone today, but I check it every minute. 280-5848. Make a remind way. The Belize Diabetes Association, the number that 203-3333. 203-3333. The Belize Diabetes Association have one Let's Get Moving challenge for the time period January 2nd to Ash Wednesday, April 16th. And encourage Belizeans to move. You could download the Step Up app and then you could encourage your friends to participate. The goal is 10,000 to 12,000 steps a day, which is about 5 to 6 miles a day. Hundreds of Belizeans have signed up, even though all they know the walk. And encourage Belizean people for investing in your own well-being. Remember, only the people want to save the people. So you can't save nobody if you don't save yourself first. So you can set goals. You don't might always meet the goals. Some days you might can't walk because of the weather or life is lifing. I encourage Belizean people to get moving. I don't have to in the country because I got two of my sisters at the UK with a pan up. And I encourage Belizeans. I encourage people who care for. Get up if you can walk, because there's some people who, for different reasons, are not able to move, maybe living with a disability. I encourage you to move your body, and pay attention to what it is that you're putting in your mouth, especially processed food. Try and minimize processed food. Sugar is a real addiction. Belizeans, we have to do this for ourselves. Nobody can do it for you. You have to do it for yourself. And I encourage Belizeans what to exercise, how important it is to be hydrated. Lot of coconut water if you could. And I hear some people that mix up the coconut water now. Look, I want to stop it. We pay enough money for coconut water. We want source of coconut water, no additional water and sugar. Coconut water, 100%. Stay hydrated. How important it is to rest, to get a good, at least 8 hours sleep. I encourage you, if you could. Even if you don't go sleep, get in the bed, rest your body. If you have one bed, because some people don't have one bed. I tell you, I never so thankful for one bed. I set a goal for myself yesterday. Believe me, I know I'll try this again no time soon, and I know I'll do it by myself. I never walked for 4 days, but I've been stretching, getting my rest, staying hydrated. Knocked my head yesterday, and I thought it was a good day because it was cool yesterday. For walk from, I've been house sitting for my sister since 2017 in Vista Del Mar. And I walked from she house, down John Smith Road, to the 8 Mile roundabout and back. When I tell you, when I get home, every part of my body made a holler. Now, I give thanks to my body because it worked with me, even though I'm not fit, I've gained weight. I'm 58 years old now. The body, like, if you take care of your body, as your age especially, your body and take care of it. So I really give thanks to my body, the creator, ancestors, the Belizean people. You saw Sister Penny talk about a breastfeeding proposal where you forget power bus and somebody catch you and taxi and carry it to the community resource center. At the time, I think it was called on Antelope Street. That's the same thing I'm going to say to Christy. I don't know where they're going with me on this phone this morning. I know they hang it up properly. But because I call, like, people calling, and people start to call in, but when then they call in and again, busy tone. Somebody call Creme Radio and tell them, listen, I got busy tone. Creme Radio call XTV. Christy send me a text, but I know they study my phone because I dip on the air. So Christy come out with a sign, hang up the phone properly. That's what I mean when, like yesterday, when I left phone, like 5, 6 people stop and say, hey, you want a ride? I said, I exercise and I need a ride. I mean, people look out for you. I mean, one of the things that excite me, besides learning more about African people, that when Belizean people just naturally, good vibration, high vibration, positive vibes, just show love for one another as a community. You know, that same vein, big up Kim and Keller, Grab and Go. I love it when Keller bring my food. Keller bring my food for me this morning. Warm coffee. Give thanks, Kim. And I'm sure other people feel the same way, but I just talk about me. When Kim make my breakfast, I feel like there's all the loving of my food and she make it for me. You know, like people who might go to church, like one time when I was go to church, I feel like the person where they deliver the message, they talk, like they know what is happening in your life, even if I don't tell nobody, and then they talk just to you, and I'm sure lots of people feel that way, which I think is a beautiful thing. I recently meet one brother, this make I show how serious the community love, right? So, yeah, Sister Penny talk about, the number is 280-5848. We have to go to break. Is it now that's the break time? 8:45. Yep. It's break time now, right, Christy? Yeah. I have to take a quick break. It'll be the last break of the morning. And then we'll come back and wrap. Break time.
When you bank your way, it's a
Welcome back to Wake Up Belize Morning Vibes, WB here in sweet Southside Belize City on a chilly Thursday, January 20. Why did I say 22nd? Today the 23rd. Today Thursday. You mean to say I said 22nd and they will not correct me? The 23rd of January. I live good. It's Thursday morning. Thursday the 23rd January 2025. We might have time for one more call. Right now it's 10 minutes to 9. 9 to 9. So we're going to shut the shop at 9 o'clock. Since we come in this morning, I'm going to talk about the scandal in the Anglican Church with the Justin Welby, the Archbishop of Canterbury and head of the Church of England worldwide, announced his resignation effective 6 January 2025 instead of January 2026 because him know about John Smith, who ran holiday camps for boys at English public schools and accused of abuse of power. Morning, talk to me. Morning. You're up on the air.
Oh, sorry, but I wanted the lady to answer the question, which is kind of about the oat milk and almond milk to feed kids. But basically, the stuff that we consume from cows is no good for us. It may be good for me, it may not be good for the other person. Those stuff cause fibroids, diseases, and stuff like that on girls' ovaries dealing with this cold milk. Cold milk is for cows. I am not a cow, so why am I drinking cold milk for and everything? You know, but anyway, I only got funny stickers on my car and everything, but I wish a lot of women in Belize were like you. All these girls are materialistic, you know, they need an exterior validation that presents them from the outside world. You know what I'm saying? What people think about them. You know, you're natural, you're straight up, you're a revolutionist, but we don't have that in Belize. It's only about 28% of girls that think like that in Belize. Everybody's in a whole different world when it comes to dealing with themselves. But anyway, John, bless.
Respect, brother. Thanks for the call. I tell you, one of the things we're really uplifting this morning, I think we get 3 calls about breast milk. And all of them, brother. Salute to them, brother. Knowledgeable brother, too. So our head sister, Penelope Penny Casasola, advanced lactation consultant, and the one that believes, can share about breast culture, breastfeeding, the importance of breastfeeding exclusively, why latching important, finding out why children, newborns will not be getting milk, and how important the father's role, active role is in breastfeeding. Morning, thanks for calling WB. Talk to it.
Yeah, morning, my sister. I know that 9 to 9 with you, so I just plant the seed right now, but I am so excited to announce to the Belizean public that, you know, we have had a hard time of attracting attorneys to the peace movement case against the government for redivisioning exercise, right? Which is fairly unconstitutional and stuff. And I just want to say how happy I am that a Belizean attorney out of the U.S. from Washington, D.C. has reached out and has offered her assistance. Alright, so she's got like a Belizean roots. I think she was born in America, but she comes back to Belize regular, and she's just taken up with this now, and glad that we have taken this thing to court for so long that, you know, they have had illegal elections because the divisions are not equal, and we are just calling on people, you know, Belizean people across this country. And you see what's going on in Belize City right now. You know, you think that the UDP could have tried any of that, what they are trying, or whatever they trace here, the shine, in the smart division of 2,000 people. They can't try that until later. It's 8,000. So this whole UDP fight and stuff is a result of, you know, both PUP and UDP government ignoring the constitution to bring the division so that they are equal or near equal to each other. And as a result, the whole country is suffering. We don't even have an opposition right now because of this madness.
Brother Will,
yeah.
I really appreciate you calling in. I want to encourage you, for those, and you're usually good at this with BTV, Belize Territorial Volunteers Activism. I would really encourage you for calling at least once a week for as many media hosts as you could, because I don't think that story is heard enough. You got one constituency, and you have, like, I don't want people to have one idea of how much people were 18 years old, whether they vote or not. They're 18. So let's say you have one constituency, we have over 18 years old, you have 25,000 people. Out of that 25,000 people were eligible for vote, only, for example, only 2,000 that want to get representation, our American politicians steady to win, whereas you may have one another, and I usually think of Bella Vista just because will awareness. You might have Bella Vista, let's say Bella Vista have over 18 years old, whether they're registered for vote or not, you might have 500,000, well it can't be 500,000 because the population are only 400 or something thousand. You might have, let's say 16,000 people will register. And they might just win from 8,000 will register for vote and vote. So I really think then numbers you call in, we really need to have the 31 constituency breakdown. And I don't know if they have how much people 18 years or older or how much registered voters they have and how much actually vote consistently. Like I really encourage you, Brother Will, to push their numbers. So I understand what the Constitution says, that for all 31 constituency, you should have as close to or the same amount. So what are the smallest constituency that Belize City will?
Well, the smallest constituency, the last time when I checked, and that's again, the Fort George division, right?
And how much Fort George had?
So?
How much registered voters Fort George had?
Right now they have a little over 2,000.
A little over 2,000.
Fort George, it was under 2,000, right? So in 4 years they registered a few hundred more to make it over 2,000. But I ran in Fort George so I could have so the people could have seen, right? But apparently it just never worked. You know, sometimes you do some things in life and people just don't get it. The Belizean people never get it why I went to Fort George to run. I went to Fort George to run so that people could have seen that this division is so small compared to Toledo East. They had less than 2,000 people, while Toledo East had 8,000 plus people. So to show the inequality when it comes to voting. You know, from the Cebu to the Sarsoon, which is half of the country, my sister, only have 4 parliamentarians, 4 representatives. Cebu to the Sarsoon. Yet from Bird's Isle to Harlover have about 10, right? Which is less than a 5-mile span, you know. So it just goes to show you, you know, and we have so many educated people in this country that you think would be conscious about justice, but it's just like getting swept under the rug. I don't hear from the unions like I should. I don't hear from the council of churches like I should. I don't like we should. They know like we should. I don't hear from the Chamber of Commerce like we should. You know, it's just ridiculous how we have so many so-called educated people watching this injustice right in front of their face taking place, and nobody is saying anything.
Thanks, brother. Well, I have to go, but thanks for ringing that bell.
Yeah.
Wow.
Have a beautiful day, Belize.
Thanks to brother. You too. All right, that one, we can't take no more calls. We have to lock off. And so we have to thank everybody. We're calling, we'll listen, we'll live stream. We're going to share this link later on. We had conversations about the scandal in the Anglican Church as it relates to the abuse of young men or boys, and wanting to know if the Anglican Church that believes make them congregation members know and make the wider community know about this. We talk about the Port of Belize Limited, the same thing with the former owner, though this current Belizeans are the owner, and the government of Belize, they talk about having one cargo expansion and what do you call it again? The cruise port. But there's no community awareness, there's no participation of the voices of people who live nearest to the port and live at the port. We talked about the brother Carl who said that yes, you could get, and I appreciate the work we do for making those say if you need eye examination under National Healthcare Insurance, you have to register at one clinic, and then they want to make the recommendation for go to BCVI, you have to call and make one appointment before you go. We had our guest sister Penelope Penny Casasola, advanced lactation consultant. Adequate information about breastfeeding, how important it is for fathers to be involved in the breastfeeding process. The brother Colleen and talk about the shareholders, 68 shareholders for the Port of Belize Limited, and he said 68 shareholders raised $26 million Belize dollars. And the Belize Port of Belize Limited have one duty to respond to their 68 shareholders. I know 2 on it. I give up my phone number 671-850 because I really want to work with those shareholders. Brother Will Mejia, Colleen just now and talked about how important it is that Belizeans, especially the trade union, the Chamber of Commerce, the churches, have on record their position on injustice of the violation of the Constitution of Belize, that all 31 constituencies now have equal amount of registered voters or as close to equal as possible, and that again, a new Belizean attorney out of the United States were willing to take up the Belize Peace Movement issue on holding the state accountable for that. So big thanks, big thanks. Appreciate all the love, community support. Remember, Belize Diabetes Association have a walking marathon competition. The number is 203-3333. Sister Penny number is 615-2344. The international number is 352-345-6391. Thank everybody behind the scenes this morning. When I came in, the security guard was Brother Lloyd Lewis. Right now is Brother Shane Flowers. We have Master Chief Operator Christy Flowers. Big thanks, sister, for beat Brother Cliff and Brother Cliff. Usually like first one all weekend to beat Brother Cliff. I said, Father Christy, that's an accomplishment. Brother Cliff Lewis, I have to remember, like we call him the glue. He makes sure things stay levels back at least the XTV for sure. And downstairs on the second floor, we have Larry Guerrero as the technician downstairs. We want to thank everybody behind the scenes, families, wider community members who make Zinc Fence go still up in the air. We support all Zinc Fence product, tune in to his services, to his programming, sponsors, by the Mandel newspaper, tomorrow the paper day. We really couldn't do this without community love and support. So stay warm, keep moving, stay hydrated, have an absolutely positive day. The show will repeat at 3:30 this evening on XTV local channel. You can listen to it at your convenience at YouTube XTV Belize and Facebook XTV Belize. With the Creator, ancestresses and ancestors' guidance, I should be back tomorrow morning. Until then, remember say, only the people and save the people.
Wake up, Belize. 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 Another day is here. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. We gotta keep moving. Na 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 na. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Everybody gotta put the time in. Wake up, Belize. Wake up, Belize. Voice of opinion and place of calling.